as you're opening up to our OneNote. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. It started off a little rough this morning, chasing our friend around, but it's going good. It's gonna be great. Gonna be great. Let me know when you're at the OneNote. You there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with, I think, our icebreakers. What's your favorite childhood text and why?
I'm gonna say anything Journey B. Jones, because that was like
Judy B. Jones? Okay.
that was the first chapter book I ever read, and like I would read those all the time.
Okay. So mine's is Bridge to Terabithia.
That's a good one.
We read it. I can't remember if it was like, I know it was a crossover between elementary and middle, so I can't remember if it was 5th or 6th grade for me. But for me, it just kind of like brought back, and I'll have you explain a little bit more besides it was a chapter book, but for me, it just kind of brought back me and my friends in our neighborhood. We just used to play a lot and build things and just create these whole scenarios in our head. What we were running away from, what we were building, just lived in our heads, which kids don't do a lot of now. Mm-hmm. But we just, we had the freedom. We could leave the house at 11 a.m. and come back at 4 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And we just spent the entire time exploring and imagining, and I think seeing the kids in the text really like do that and create their own like worlds was very like interesting to me. And then also like at that time, I feel like all of the storybooks had a happy ending. They you wanted to believe that everything was going to end well in that story. When the little girl dies, you realize like, oh, every story doesn't have a happy ending. So that was kind of one of the reasons that text stood out for me. What stood out about Judy B. Jones?
I think like with that being like one of the first chapter books I read, like so like they were all like short, like 8 chapters or something. Mm-hmm. And so like it was really cool to read about like a kid who is having like these everyday problems. Like she would get into things and like I felt like I could relate to it. And then on top of that, because they were so short and they were like only 8 chapters, I could read it and like I could read it in like 2 days and then like 1 day, and then it gave me like the courage to read bigger books eventually, because I was like, oh, I could actually finish a book.
Oh my god.
We just had this last week.
I know. Oh my god. Okay, so fire drill. So we're gonna pause.